Have you ever sat quietly at your kitchen table, looked at your bank account balance, and felt a cold shiver of doubt? Perhaps you are in your 50s or 60s, and for decades you have heard the same fairy tale about becoming a millionaire by the time you stop working. The financial gurus on television make it sound so simple, as if everyone you pass on the street is sitting on a massive pile of gold. But here in the early months of 2026, the reality for most of us is much different and much more demanding. According to the latest data from the Federal Reserve, the typical household approaching retirement does not have $1 million. In fact, the median retirement account for someone in their early 60s is closer to $200,000. That is a staggering gap between the dream we were sold and the life we are actually living. If you feel behind, or if you feel like the clock is ticking louder every single day, I want you to know that you are not alone. More importantly, I want to show you why having $200,000 today does not mean you are destined for a financial struggle. There is a hidden mechanism in the world of money that most people abandon right before it starts to work its magic. It is called compound interest. And while the young people on social media talk about it like a game, for those of us in the second half of our lives, it is our most powerful shield against inflation and uncertainty. Before we dive into the specific math that can turn your current situation around, if you find this perspective helpful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring these honest financial conversations to more people who truly need to hear them. If you have ever felt like it is too late to start, please type the words "patient growth" in the comments below, so we can support each other in this journey. Now let us look at the truth about why your money often feels like it is standing still. Most people treat their savings like a pile of wood. They add a few logs every month, and they expect a massive bonfire to start immediately. But compound growth is not a bonfire. It is a snowball. In the first 10 years of investing, your progress will feel invisibly slow. You might contribute $500 every single month, and after 5 years you look at your balance and realize that almost all the money there is just what you put in yourself. The actual interest or growth feels like peanuts. This is the danger zone, where most people in their 50s give up. They think to themselves, "I have been disciplined for years, and I only have a few $1,000s in gains, so this clearly does not work." They cash out, they buy a new car, or they simply stop contributing because they cannot see the curve turning upward. But here is what the math tells us about 2026. Wealth is not built in a straight line. It is back-loaded. This means the vast majority of your growth happens in the final years of your timeline. Think about Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history. Did you know that over 99% of his massive wealth was created after his 50th birthday? In fact, the majority of it came after he reached the age of 65. The reason for this is not magic. It is the rule of 72. If you can achieve a 7% return on your investments, your money will double approximately every 10 years. If you can achieve a 10% return, which has been the historical average of the S&P 500, your money doubles every 7 years. Think about what that means for you right now. If you are 55 years old and you have managed to save $200,000, you might feel like you are failing. But if you leave that money alone and keep your hands off the steering wheel, that $200,000 could become $400,000 by the time you are 62. If you can wait just 7 more years until you are 69, that $400,000 could become $800,000. That is the power of the doubling period. The problem is that most of us are too busy staring at the daily fluctuations of the market to notice the snowball gaining mass. In 2026, we are surrounded by noise. We see headlines about market crashes, political instability, and the rising cost of living. These things are real, and they are scary, but they are also distractions from the fundamental truth that time is the greatest multiplier of capital. The biggest mistake you can make right now is trying to be too aggressive to make up for lost time. When people feel behind, they often start chasing risky stocks or complex schemes because they want to turn 10,000 into 100,000 overnight. This is like trying to run a marathon at a full sprint when you are already tired. You will likely collapse before you reach the finish line. Instead, I want to propose a more stable and more dignified approach that I call the two-bucket system. The first bucket is your safety bucket. This is the money that allows you to sleep at night. When the market drops 20%, as it inevitably does from time to time, you do not have to panic. You do not have to sell your investments at a loss to pay for groceries, because you have your safety bucket. The second bucket is your growth bucket. This is where the compound interest magic happens. This money is invested in broad, low-cost index funds that track the total market. This money is not for today. It is not for next year. It is for the version of you that exists 10 or 15 years from now. You give your growth bucket the one thing it needs most: permission to be ignored. As we move further into 2026, we also have to talk about the silent killers of your retirement. The first is the lifestyle creep that happens when we finally start earning our peak income in our late 50s. You might feel like you deserve that luxury SUV or that expensive club membership because you have worked hard for 30 years. You certainly do deserve nice things, but every $1,000 you spend on a depreciating asset today is $2,000 you're taking away from your future self. The second killer is investment fees. Many people are still paying 1 or even 2% in management fees to advisors who are not actually beating the market. Over a decade, that is $100,000 of your wealth that went into someone else's pocket instead of compounding for you. Switching low-cost funds is one of the easiest ways to give your compound interest a massive boost without taking any extra risk. Now, let us address the elephant in the room: Social Security. Many people are worried that it will not be there for them or that it will not be enough. For a married couple, that is $4,000 of guaranteed, inflation-adjusted income every month. When you combine that with a portfolio that has been allowed to compound quietly in the background, the picture of retirement starts to look a lot brighter. You do not need $5 million to be happy. You need enough to cover your needs, a little extra for your wants, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are not a burden to anyone. That is true wealth. If you are sitting there thinking, "I have zero saved and I am 50 years old," I am not going to lie to you and say it will be easy, but I will tell you that it is definitely possible. The key is to start moving. Cut the expenses that do not bring you genuine joy. Automate your savings so you never have to make a decision about whether to invest or spend. And most importantly, forgive yourself for the years you did not save. Guilt is a heavy weight that prevents you from taking the steps you need to take today. Let the past go and focus on the doubling periods you still have ahead of you. As we approach the final part of our discussion, I want to remind you that the goal of all this planning is not just to have a big number on a screen. The goal is freedom. It is the freedom to wake up on a Tuesday morning and decide exactly how you want to spend your time. It is the freedom to travel to see your grandchildren without checking your credit card balance. It is the freedom to say no to things that drain your energy and yes to things that fulfill your soul. Compound interest is the bridge that carries you from a life of having to work to a life of wanting to live. But that bridge only holds up if you stay on it. If you jump off every time the wind blows or the market dips, you will never reach the other side. If you have stayed with me this far, it shows that you are serious about taking control of your financial future in 2026. If you found value in this breakdown, please click the like button and share this video with a friend who might be feeling stressed about their own retirement. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the strategies that actually move the needle. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. Which of the two buckets are you focusing on right now? Are you building your safety bucket? Or are you finally letting your growth bucket run wild? Your stories and questions help create a community where we can all learn and grow together. Remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Do not let another day go by where your money is not working for you. The curve is waiting to turn upward, and all it needs is your patience and your discipline. The journey to a secure retirement is not a sprint. It is a steady walk toward a horizon that is closer than you think. You have the tools, you have the math, and now you have the plan. Take that first step today and let the power of time do the rest. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video as we continue to decode the truth about wealth and happiness in the modern world. Stay focused, stay patient, and keep growing. Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make this afternoon. Good luck on your journey, and I will talk to you soon.